Hello again, it's me, Egil Thorsen. I'm here to talk to you today about the bearded axe, but first of all let me tell you that if you click on the notification bell, if you've got a computer, if you've got a phone, you can tap in, and that means that we'll be able to let you know about premieres and things like that. Or alternatively, or as well as, you could also leave us a comment. Maybe you've got some comments that or questions you'd like to ask. We'll only be too glad to get to you and answer them. It will take us a while because we have very many, but we aim to please. So, as I said, I'm Egil Thorsen, warrior, businessman, runecaster and storyteller and a history guy. So today we're going to be talking about the bearded axe. I'll just bring that in a bit closer, and there we go. We got it? Yeah, of course we have. Why do we call it a bearded axe? Well, glad you asked that, because if you look at this, imagine this is the body of a man, here's his nose, and there's his beard hanging off his chin. It has a function, like all things in the Viking world. First of all, you could stop a spear and lock it. That's that. Thank you very much. Whoop. Bargain nearly killed that sound man. But it's also used for hooking, and if I can just use Bragi here for the minute, you hook them around the neck and pull them in.
Ow, did you mind?
It can be used for that, but a lot of battles took place at sea.
I've got a bad neck now.
I know, well, don't mess with the Axeman. What we do, we get the two long ships close together, and people like me hook the side of the ship and we pull, and that creates a fighting platform for us. Axes are the workday weapon. They're not necessarily a weapon. They can be used around the farm. Most farms would have an axe of sorts. But in the Viking Age, this is more. It could be a lifesaver. Yes, you can bash people's heads in with it, but imagine you are caught out in the wilds around this time of night when it's dark and cold. You can't nip into a Hilton hotel or anything like that because they weren't there. So what do? You find a tree, you chop the tree down, preferably a silver birch, and there's a reason for that, and you make an A-frame or lean it up against something. You use the leaves as thatch. The bark is exceptionally flammable, so you've got that. You can make pots out of the bark as well, and if you hit it the right time of year, you can drill in and get the sap, which is a nice sweet sugary energy drink for this time. So this is more like a Swiss Army knife than, yes, you can, like I said, you can use it as a weapon. All round is a very useful piece of kit to have. It's very well thought out because what you've got is the minimum amount of metal shaped for the maximum effect on whatever you're chopping. So officially it should only be like that, but when you heated it up and splayed it out, you've got yourself quite a big cutting area. So this to me is the #1 weapon for the Viking, and that's about finished all I can say about it at the moment, but we'll come back to weapons in the Viking Age and we'll talk in greater detail and depth about it. So to recap, not just a weapon, it can be used as a survival tool. It's a farm worker's tool, and it's a sort of weapon that, let's face it, you don't need that much training on. I presume you've got to be fit enough to wield it around, but again, it's a weapon that can be used or used as a tool, and many a farm, even today, you'll find axes. In fact, it'd be very odd if you didn't. So, hang on, we've got and yes, it has been used as I say, as a tool, but as a combat weapon. It's interesting as you look through the age of the Viking Age, from 903 to 1066 to be exact, in this country, you see the development of axes. this isn't just the only type of axe. There's a T-shaped one which is used in the building of ships, and later on you get the long Dane axe used in war. But this, you can imagine if, say, Bragi has a trip to go Viking in England, and he wants volunteers, and I go, yeah, I'll do it. I've got no weapons, I've got my axe. This, in close quarters, is a pretty terrifying weapon. Yeah, you can use axe on spear, as you saw earlier, and various other uses. But it says Viking more than any other weapon that they've got. So combat, and again, you're not going to do combat all the time. It's going to be in the summer and spring, because you've got to get your crops in on your farm, and it gets a bit dicey out there in the North Sea. So anyway, that's the axe in a nutshell, and till we meet again, I'm going to say goodbye. Don't forget, click or tap on the subscription bell and leave us a comment. So you have a good day, and till we meet again. Fire Hill. Bye now.